The lesson that I want to cover today is called Introduction to Python. This notebook is designed by Maxwell Maginot and basically is part of the Quantopian lecture series. Now, in this topic, these are the lesson outcomes or the topics that we will cover. The first one is code comments. Second one is variables, basic math, collections. These are the data types in Python, string shenanigans, how to manipulate strings, logical operators, true, false, the likes, loop structures, as well as functions. Now let's start with code comments. What is code comments? Basically, a code comments is really a note made by the programmer in the source code itself to help remind themselves. The purpose of comments is really to clarify the source codes and to make it easier for people to follow along with what is actually happening. Now, anything in a comment is generally ignored when the code is actually run, making comments useful for including explanations and reasoning, as well as removing specific line of codes that you may unsure about. Comments in Python are generally created by using either the pound symbol or including a pound in a line of code, which will basically comment out anything that follows it. So here's an example. This is basically a code cell. So in this cell here, this is a running cell. This is basically a cell whereby you put comments. So in this environment called Jupyter Notebook or IPython Notebook, this portion here is called Markdown, and this portion here is called code. So you run it by pressing the play button. Okay, so you run the cell and notice that there's an asterisk there before and now it turns into 1. Nothing was run, okay, because really it's just a comment. This line of codes will not change any values. Anything following the first hash is not run as code at all. So we're moving here now, move to the next cell. It's called Markdown again. So this whole cell here, basically it won't actually run either. It's just basically you use that to actually it's a rich text allowing you to write really rich comments, formulas, and the likes. So sometimes when you're actually reading other people's code, you see this triple quotation mark or also called multi-line comments. This is not entirely accurate. This is a special type of string. Data type we will cover called a docstring, used to explain the actual purpose of a function. So here, if I run this, it's called a special string. So make sure you read the comments within each code cell. If they are there, it will provide a much more real-time explanation of what's going on as you look at each line of code. So this is just a real brief introduction on code comments.